Here we are sitting on the banks of the Red, and it's not typically where you see police officers, but I mean, it's a very important piece of the work that you do as a police officer for the service. So tell me a little bit about the dive unit.
Well, our dive unit right now, we've got 17 members. It's a recovery unit. That's, I guess, one of the biggest things that people have to get through is that we can't deploy as a rescue unit. So if there is a drowning or someone in distress or whatever, that's the fire department responds.
Okay.
But if there's no hope of recovering that person through a rescue, then we're called onto the scene, and we're there to give closure to the family. If there's someone that's drowned, and it's very difficult.
And that must be a little bit tough, because in police work, we always want to be able to solve the situation. And sometimes we get to a scene and we know it's going to end fairly positive. But most of the times when you go into the river, you know that it's probably not going to be what people are looking for typically as a good outcome. So how does that work for you in terms of managing
definitely. It's right from the start that what you're doing is you're going, for the recovery mode. And it's like, we understand that there's not a rush, but still we do appreciate the fact that there's family there, and they want, their loved one back, and they want to be, for closure and everything else. So it's something, a lot of people can't, deal with that type of thing. It's a very unique group on our dive unit that can actually go into the water and then have to recover a body.
So it's a very unique, or it's a different way that you're able to bring some type of closure to the family. You bring a different sense of well-being. It's not that, yes, your loved one's back in the way that we would necessarily want or expect, but at least people can say, okay, now closure to some sense, we can move on with the next part of our lives, whether it's doing a farewell service, whatever that might be.
That's true. And you know what, all the time, in every situation, we don't always recover the body, but just to see that the police are out there trying to, it means that their loved one was important. We're out there, we're able to give every effort that we have. We're risking our lives, to locate this person.
So when you got into police work, was this something that you foresaw, or you just developed over time? What was your drive to become involved with the dive unit?
It's interesting. I wasn't a diver before I got on with the police, and really? I went to, I think it was at Polo Park, they had some type of display on for the underwater search and recovery unit, and I was like, I just remember seeing it and asking questions, going, wow, this is something I'd really like to do. And what they did was they trained you to be a diver. And so, not being ever other than snorkeling, been in the water, all of a sudden I got onto a dive course, and afterwards I applied for the team.
Wow. So some people might think this is a silly question, but people are probably wondering, Winnipeg, winters, long, cold, frozen waterways, what do members of the dive unit do in the wintertime, Kevin?
Well, it's interesting, when I first got on the job, or got on the dive unit, for the first 10 years, we trained for situations where someone would go through the ice. Never really happened, but we do train for, ice dive. We go out to West Hawk Lake, where we have some visibility and better conditions than our Red River. And in the last few years, we've had some people fall through the ice, and where we've had to, attempt searches and make some body recoveries. So it is a long winter here, but even in the winter months, we may be called upon.
No, I understand that we've actually progressed in terms of some of the technology that we have to assist our members. I want to talk about a sonar.
Yes, about 4 years ago, we acquired a sonar, Kronsberg sonar, and we're able to now assist the divers. What we can do is, it's sometimes difficult to actually say for sure that that's the object you're looking for.
Colby, just a little bit to the left here. If there's nothing there, there's nothing there, but...
It gives you targets, and so when we're down on the bottom, if there's a place that the sonar operator would say, you know what, this looks like a possibility, a target, they'll move the diver over, and it's very precise, and the diver will be able to find that item on the bottom and then identify if it is what we're looking for. Also, with this technology, if there's a hazard, the sonar operator can tell the diver, say, you know what, watch out, there's a pile of rocks, looks like a drop off, might be trees in this area, and it just alerts the diver, gets your, because there's so much of the unknown when you can't see anything, that just that heads up that you're going to be getting yourself into something is comforting.
So again, we became police officers because we want to make a difference in the city, want to help people, but even within the scope of policing, what I'm hearing from you is that there are just so many different areas for us to move into to be able to really fulfill that call of why we became police officers. And for yourself, being part of the dive unit is a significant part of that.
Absolutely. It was, with all the different specialty units in the service, this was one that really appealed to me. I've been supported throughout my career by different supervisors to excel in this area, and it's something that's interested me. I've obtained my instructor's certification, so now I can teach new divers, police divers, and it's been successful. We've had many divers that are on the team right now start by me teaching them how to dive, and then them applying for the dive unit, and now they're active members.
Fabulous. Well, as a chief, I can tell you, I know that the dive unit is just one component of what makes us as an organization such a professional police organization. I want to thank you for the part that you play in that. So thank you very much.